Something's brewing in the AFC North, and Browns fans, you're going to want to hear this. Because what I'm about to tell you isn't just another offseason rumor, it's a potential game-changer that could tilt the balance of power for years. And yes, it involves the Cleveland Browns, their biggest rival, and a move that could ignite one of the most feared defenses in the entire NFL. Buckle up, because this is the kind of story that keeps the rest of the league awake at night. The Browns aren't sitting around waiting for September. No, they're busy shaping a roster that screams contender. It started with the massive 4-year, $160 million extension for Myles Garrett, a contract that shook the league and sent a very clear message. Cleveland is all in on building a defense that can win championships. When you lock in one of the best pass rushers in a game, that's not just smart business, that's planting your flag. But here's the question that has everyone buzzing. Is Garrett going to get some high-powered backup? Rumors are swirling, and they're not just whispers. Multiple insiders are pointing to Cleveland's interest in Bengals star Trey Hendrickson, an all-pro defensive end who just so happens to be one of the most disruptive players in the NFL. Let that sink in for a second. Trey Hendrickson in brown and orange. If you're an offensive lineman or a quarterback in the AFC, that thought alone probably makes you sweat. Hendrickson is relentless, violent off the edge, and the kind of player who changes entire game plans. Pair him with Garrett, and suddenly the Browns would have a pass-rushing tandem that could make even elite quarterbacks look ordinary. Imagine Baltimore's Lamar Jackson or Cincinnati's Joe Burrow trying to operate with both Garrett and Hendrickson breathing down their necks. That's not just a headache, that's a nightmare. Now don't get too comfortable, because pulling off a deal like this is anything but easy. Cincinnati knows Hendrickson's value, and they're not about to give him away. Reports suggest the Bengals would want significant compensation, think multiple high draft picks or even an impact player in return. And remember, Hendrickson himself has made it clear he doesn't want to play under his current salary. That means any team trading for him has to be ready to negotiate a brand new deal, one that pays him what he believes he's worth. It's complicated, yes, but that doesn't mean it's impossible. Cleveland has the tools to make it happen. They've stockpiled draft capital, they've shown a willingness to spend big, and their front office just proved its negotiation skills by locking Garrett into that massive extension after he briefly shook the waters with a trade request. These are seasoned dealmakers now, and they know how to navigate the high-stakes world of NFL trades. But here's where it gets juicy. Imagine if Cleveland actually pulled this off. Hendrickson leaves Cincinnati, joins Garrett in Cleveland, and suddenly the Bengals lose one of their defensive cornerstones while the Browns get even stronger. That's not just a roster move, that's a seismic shift in the AFC North. It would rattle the entire division. Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, they'd all have to rethink how they approach the Browns. That's how big this move could be. Of course, the Bengals aren't blind to that reality. Trading a star to a division rival is about as painful as it gets, which means their asking price could be even higher for Cleveland compared to teams like the Panthers or Colts, who are also reportedly interested. Still, the fact that the Browns are even in the conversation tells you everything you need to know. This team isn't satisfied with good. They're chasing great. So let's zoom out for a second. With Garrett already secured, with a secondary that's shown flashes of brilliance, and with Hendrickson potentially joining the fold, the Browns could be constructing one of the most terrifying defenses in the league. Not just solid, not just competitive. Terrifying. The kind of defense that flips the field, wins playoff games, and pushes you into Super Bowl territory. But let's be real. This is still a high-stakes gamble. The money has to work, the Bengals have to be willing, and the Browns have to decide whether the price is worth it. Yet when you think about what's at stake, the chance to field a defense that could dominate for years, it feels like a gamble worth taking. Fans, I've got to say it, the thought of Myles Garrett and Trey Hendrickson lining up side by side is as exciting as it gets. If you're a Browns fan, that's goosebumps territory. And it's why this offseason, already one of the wildest we've seen in years, just got even more fascinating. Before we go any further, let me pause and say this. If you love keeping up with every twist and turn of Cleveland's offseason, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to Browns Breakout. That's how we keep building this community of diehard fans who live and breathe Browns football. Now, back to it, because I want to hear from you. Do you think Cleveland should go all in on Hendrickson? Should they push their chips to the center of the table and make this blockbuster deal? Or is the price tag just too steep, even for a potential superstar pairing with Garrett? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this is one of those moves that could shape the future of the franchise. The bottom line is this: the Browns are done waiting for the league to take them seriously. They're making moves, they're taking risks, and they're building a roster that has the potential to dominate. Whether or not Hendrickson joins the fold, one thing is clear: Cleveland is serious about winning now. And for fans who have waited decades for a shot at the Super Bowl, that's exactly what you want to see. The story's still unfolding. Training camp is almost here. The trade talks are heating up. And every day, the possibility of Hendrickson wearing the orange and brown feels a little more real. Stay tuned, because this offseason is far from over, and the next big headline might just be Cleveland making the boldest move in the division.